Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. In the world of coin collecting, few things capture attention like the idea of a simple penny being worth a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins among collectors and treasure hunters, the 1973 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like just another ordinary coin sitting in your pocket change. But under the right conditions, this small copper coin could carry a surprisingly high value, with some rare variations reportedly reaching prices starting from $1,200 and even climbing toward extraordinary levels in the collector's market. Let's begin with the basics. The 1973 Lincoln penny was part of a long-running series that began in 1909. By 1973, millions of these coins were produced, making them extremely common in circulation. Most of these pennies were minted in Philadelphia, and coins from this mint traditionally do not carry a mint mark. That means if you see a 1973 penny without a mint mark, it typically indicates it was struck in Philadelphia. Now, this is where things get interesting. While the majority of these coins are common and hold minimal value, there are specific factors that can dramatically increase their worth. Collectors are not just looking for any 1973 penny. They are searching for rare conditions, unique errors, and exceptional preservation. One of the most important factors in determining the value of a 1973 no mint mark penny is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale, and those in uncirculated or mint state condition can be worth significantly more than worn examples. A coin that has never been used in circulation, with sharp details and original luster, can attract serious attention from collectors. But condition alone is not enough to push a coin into the high-value category. The real excitement comes from mint errors and rare varieties. These are the coins that stand out from the millions produced. For example, double die errors, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet can command premium prices. Even a small but noticeable mistake during the minting process can transform an ordinary penny into a collector's prize. Another key factor is demand. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States. Because of this, even minor variations can become highly desirable if collectors are actively searching for them. When demand increases and supply remains limited, prices can rise dramatically. There have been reports and market discussions suggesting that certain rare 1973 no mint mark pennies, particularly those with unique error features or exceptionally high grades, have reached values starting from $1,200 and potentially much higher in private sales or specialized auctions. While such high values are not typical for standard coins, they highlight the importance of closely examining every detail. So, how can you identify if your 1973 penny might be valuable? Start by looking at the overall condition. Check for strong details in Abraham Lincoln's portrait, especially in the hair and facial features. Look at the reverse side and examine the Lincoln Memorial for clarity and sharpness. Coins with crisp, well-defined details are always more desirable. Next, inspect the coin for errors. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if possible. Look for doubling in the letters or numbers, unusual shapes, or misaligned designs. Even slight irregularities can be significant in the world of coin collecting. Today, the 1966 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark is one of the most searched and misunderstood coins in the United States coin market. Many collectors and beginners hear claims that this coin is worth thousands or even over $1 million. But the reality is more nuanced. In this video, we will break down the true value, the rare errors that can make this coin extremely valuable, and how you can identify if your 1966 penny is worth more than just 1 cent. Let's start with the basics. The 1966 Lincoln penny was produced during a unique period in U.S. coin history. From 1965 to 1967, The U.S. Mint removed mint marks from coins to discourage coin hoarding during a national coin shortage. That means every 1966 penny you find will have no mint mark, regardless of where it was made. This is completely normal and does not automatically make the coin rare. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, designed by Frank Gasparro. It is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that classic reddish-brown appearance. Now here's where things get interesting. Even though billions of 1966 pennies were minted, certain factors can dramatically increase their value. The first and most important factor is condition. A typical circulated 1966 penny is usually worth between 1 cent and a few cents. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition with strong details, original luster, and no visible wear, its value can rise to between $1 and $10 depending on grading. But condition alone is not what drives the high-value headlines. The real money comes from rare errors and exceptional mint states. Let's talk about errors. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. For the 1966 Lincoln penny, some of the most valuable errors include double die obverse. This occurs when the coin's design is stamped twice slightly off alignment, creating a noticeable doubling effect. Look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see clear doubling, your coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the strength of the error. Off-center strike. If the design is not properly aligned during minting, part of the coin may appear missing or shifted. A 1966 penny with a strong off-center strike can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s. Clip planchet. This happens when the metal blank is improperly cut, resulting in a coin with a curved or missing edge. These are collectible and can sell for a premium. Die cracks and cuds. These appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface due to damaged dies. While minor cracks add small value, large and dramatic cuds can significantly increase the coin's price. Now let's address the big question. Can a 1966 penny be worth $1,200 or even more? Today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the world of U.S. coin collecting, the 1967 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary penny you've seen countless times. But what if I told you that a version of this coin could be worth over $1.2 million? Stay with me, because this is where things get truly fascinating. Let's start with some background. The 1967 Lincoln cent was produced during a unique time in U.S. minting history. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from all coins. This decision was made to discourage coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. So, unlike most years, you will not find a mint mark on any 1967 penny, whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. That means every 1967 penny technically has no mint mark. But here's the important detail. Not all of them are valuable. In fact, the majority are only worth a few cents. So what makes certain 1967 pennies incredibly rare and valuable? The answer lies in errors, condition, and unique characteristics. Let's break it down. First, condition plays a major role. Most 1967 pennies were heavily circulated, meaning they were used in everyday transactions and show wear. However, coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS 66 or higher, can command significantly higher prices. These coins have sharp details, original luster, and virtually no signs of wear. Now let's talk about errors. This is where things get exciting. Some 1967 Lincoln cents were struck with rare minting errors that make them extremely valuable. These include double die errors, where the design appears duplicated due to a misalignment during the striking process. You may notice doubling in the lettering, especially on words like Liberty or In God We Trust. Off-center strikes, where the coin design is not properly aligned, leaving part of the coin blank. Clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to a flaw in the metal blank before striking. Die cracks or cuds, which appear as raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. Wrong planchet errors, where the penny is struck on a metal intended for another denomination. Among these, the most valuable are high-grade double die errors and coins struck under extremely rare conditions. Now let's address the big question. Is there really a 1967 penny worth over $1.2 million? While it is true that certain rare coins have sold for over $1 million, such extreme values are typically associated with one-of-a-kind specimens, historical significance, or extremely rare mint errors combined with perfect condition. For a 1967 Lincoln cent to reach such a value, it would need to meet several extraordinary criteria. It would have to be a unique or nearly unique error coin, preserved in flawless condition and certified by a major grading service. Additionally, demand from high-end collectors would need to drive the price upward to in reality. Most valuable 1967 pennies range from a few dollars to several $1,000s, depending on condition and error type. Some exceptional examples have sold for tens of thousands, but reaching into the million-dollar range is extremely rare and highly speculative. That said, the possibility, however small, is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Imagine finding a simple penny in your pocket change that turns out to be worth thousands or even more. That's why collectors around the world continue to search through rolls of coins, old jars, and inherited collections. So how can you identify a valuable 1967 penny? Here are a few tips. Start by examining the coin under good lighting. Look closely at the lettering and date. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loupe to check for doubling or unusual features. Next, inspect the surface. Does it have strong shine and minimal scratches? Coins with original mint luster are more valuable. Check for errors. Anything that looks unusual or different from a standard penny could be worth investigating. Weigh the coin if possible. A standard 1967 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, it might be struck on the wrong planchet. That if you believe you have a rare coin, the next step is authentication. Sending your coin to a professional grading service can confirm its authenticity and assign it a grade, which greatly impacts its market value. Let's talk briefly about composition. The 1967 Lincoln cent is made primarily of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gives the coin its classic reddish-brown appearance. Over time, coins may tone or darken, which can affect their value depending on collector preference. Another important factor is color designation. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins among collectors and enthusiasts, the 1968 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. This small copper coin might look ordinary at first glance, but under the right conditions, it can hold extraordinary value. Let's explore what makes this coin so special, how to identify it, and why collectors are willing to pay thousands, and in rare cases, even claim values reaching up to $1.2 million. First, let's understand the basics. The 1968 Lincoln cent, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design was standard for pennies minted between 1959 and 2008. Most 1968 pennies were produced in large quantities, making them common in circulation even today. However, the key detail that changes everything is the absence of a mint mark. In 1968, pennies were minted in multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Typically, coins produced in Philadelphia during that time did not carry a mint mark. So at first, a 1968 penny with no mint mark might seem completely normal. But here's where it gets interesting. Certain rare variations of the 1968 no mint mark penny have unique characteristics that significantly increase their value. These include minting errors, exceptional preservation, and rare die varieties that collectors are constantly searching for. One of the most valuable factors is condition. Coins are graded on a scale, with higher grades indicating better preservation. A coin that has never been circulated, known as mint state, can be worth exponentially more than one that shows wear. A 1968 no mint mark penny in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents. But a pristine, high-grade example with strong luster and no visible damage can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now let's talk about rare error varieties. Minting errors are one of the biggest drivers of value in coin collecting. For the 1968 Liberty 1 cent, collectors look for errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck more than once slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the text or image. If you find a 1968 no-mint mark penny with clear doubling on the date or lettering, you may be holding a highly collectible piece. Another important factor is strike quality. Coins that were struck with exceptional detail and clarity are far more desirable. Look closely at Lincoln's hair, the lettering, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Sharp, well-defined features indicate a strong strike, which adds to the coin's premium value. Color also plays a major role. Copper coins are categorized by color into three groups: red, red-brown, and brown. A fully red 1968 penny, meaning it retains most of its original mint luster, is much rarer and more valuable than a brown one that has oxidized over time. High-grade red examples are especially sought after by collectors. Now let's address the big question. Can this coin really be worth up to $1.2 million? While standard 1968 no-mint mark pennies do not reach such extreme values, the coin market is driven by rarity, demand, and unique characteristics. A perfect combination of ultra-high grade, rare error, and historical significance can push certain coins into extraordinary price ranges at auctions. There have been cases where rare pennies with unique features have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. So while the 1.2 million figure represents the extreme upper end of possibility, it highlights the importance of closely examining every detail of your coin. So how do you know if your coin is valuable? Start by inspecting the date and mint mark area carefully. Confirm that there is no mint mark below the date. Then examine the coin under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for doubling, unusual marks, or anything that seems out of the ordinary. Next, evaluate the condition. Is the coin shiny and well-preserved, or does it show signs of wear? Check for scratches, discoloration, and loss of detail. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. If you believe you have a rare variety or a high-grade example, consider getting it professionally graded. Third-party grading services authenticate the coin and assign it an official grade, which can significantly increase its market value and credibility among buyers. Another important step is comparing recent sales, research auction results, and coin marketplaces to see what similar coins are selling for. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked-about coins among collectors, the 1973 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark, a coin that has sparked massive attention in the rare coin market. The 1973 Lincoln penny, also known as the Liberty 1 cent, is part of a long-running series that began in 1909. Featuring the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, this coin represents both American history and numismatic value. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial design, which was used from 1959 to 2008. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. Most 1973 pennies were produced in large numbers across multiple mints. Coins from Philadelphia typically carry no mint mark, while those from Denver display a D mint mark. So at first glance, a 1973 penny with no mint mark may seem completely normal. In fact, millions were made. But not all coins are created equal. Certain rare varieties, minting errors, and exceptionally preserved coins can turn an ordinary penny into an extraordinary asset. And that's exactly what has happened with some versions of the 1973 no mint mark penny. Collectors are especially interested in coins that exhibit unique characteristics. These may include double die errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck with unusual pressure or alignment. When these rare features combine with pristine condition, the value of the coin can skyrocket. Now let's talk about condition, because condition is everything in coin collecting. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor condition all the way up to mint state perfection. A coin graded MS 65 or higher is considered to be in excellent condition, showing minimal signs of wear. But when you get into MS 67 or MS 68 grades, you're entering elite territory. Coins that look almost flawless under magnification. For the 1973 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark, only a very small number of coins exist in such high grades. And when one of these top condition coins appears in the market, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices. There have been claims and reports in the collector community suggesting that a rare, high-grade example of this coin, especially one with a unique mint error, could reach values starting from $1.2 million or more. While not every 1973 penny will come close to this figure, The possibility has created a surge of interest among collectors and treasure hunters alike. So what exactly should you look for if you think you might have one of these valuable coins? First, check the date carefully. It must be 1973. Next, confirm that there is no mint mark below the date, which indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, examine the coin under good lighting or magnification. Look closely for any unusual features. Is there doubling in the lettering or numbers? Does the coin appear slightly misaligned? Are there any visible cracks or raised lines from the die? These small details can make a huge difference in value. Also, pay attention to the color and surface quality. Coins that retain their original red luster are often more valuable than those that have turned brown over time. A bright, clean appearance with minimal scratches or marks significantly increases desirability. Another critical step is authentication, that if you believe you have a rare or valuable coin, it's essential to have it evaluated by a professional grading service. These organizations assess the coin's authenticity, condition, and overall quality, then assign it an official grade. This not only confirms the coin's value but also makes it more attractive to serious buyers. That, let's be clear, not every 1973 no mint mark penny is worth a fortune. In fact, most are only worth a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition. But the rare exceptions, the ones with unique characteristics and near-perfect preservation, are the ones that capture headlines and command life-changing prices. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. The idea that a small, overlooked object could hold incredible value drives millions of people to search through their change, old collections, and inherited coin jars. It's a modern-day treasure hunt, and stories like the 1973 Liberty 1 cent only fuel that passion. The coin market has also evolved significantly in recent years. Online auctions, collector forums, and grading services have made it easier than ever to buy, sell, and evaluate coins. As a result, rare coins are gaining more visibility and higher prices than ever before. For content creators and collectors, coins like this are gold mines for engagement. They combine history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery, all elements that capture attention and keep viewers watching. If you're serious about building a collection or even starting a YouTube channel focused on rare coins, coins like the 1973 Liberty 1 cent are perfect topics. They offer high search volume, strong audience curiosity, and the potential for viral content. So here's your action step. Today, let's start with the basics. The 1979 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Lincoln Penny series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. By 1979, these coins were being mass-produced in huge numbers at multiple U.S. mint facilities. The most common mint locations were Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Now here is where things get interesting. Coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint during this time typically did not carry a mint mark. So if your 1979 penny has no mint mark, it simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. This is completely normal and not rare by itself. In fact, hundreds of millions of these coins were made. So why do people think this coin is extremely valuable? The answer lies in confusion and misinformation mixed with the existence of rare mint errors and high-grade collectible coins. Let's talk about what actually makes a 1979 penny valuable. First factor is condition. Most 1979 pennies you find in circulation are heavily worn and only worth face value. However, if you have a coin in uncirculated condition, meaning it has no wear and retains its original mint luster, the value can increase significantly. Coins graded at the highest levels, such as MS65, MS66, or even higher, can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to over $100 depending on quality and demand. Second factor is errors. Error coins are where things get exciting. These are coins that were struck incorrectly during the minting process. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and die cracks. If your 1979 no mint mark penny has a noticeable error, its value can increase dramatically. For example, a strong double die error where the lettering or date appears doubled can make the coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Third factor is rarity within grading populations. Even though millions of these coins exist, very few survive in perfect condition. A coin graded at MS67 or higher can be extremely rare. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for top-grade coins because they are difficult to find.